So like you have your me time, but I can't have my me time. Somehow that's messed up, Dana. There's an inequality there.
Because you're the mom. Like, I'm going to deal with that when I'm a mom.
Okay, that's bullshit.
Wait, it's not that deep. Hey, you guys, and welcome back to Not That Deep. If I sound a little chipper, it's because we were just dancing to the very own intro music that my mom has as her number one listen to iTunes, because she might still listen to iTunes, but I just want to do a quick intro, not too long, of my guest that's here. I actually wasn't planning on doing an intro, so I'm a little on the spot, but the woman in front of me is the woman who birthed me. She's the woman who taught me to be driven, to always have a goal in sight, and to never stop anything from getting in the way of achieving that goal. My mom is the type of person, when I would tell her, I kind of want to do this, she would say, you don't really care what I think, right? Because you're just going to do it. And she's right, but I still do care about her opinion. But she was coming into the city today to go to a boutique that I thought was fake because she kept sending it to me. And my mom is always scrolling things on Facebook and is like, I think I want to buy this. And she still gets like mail of clothing catalogs. And I always am worried that she's going to like send her social security number in there. But she says, that's how we used to shop. So then she came into the city because she works 2 jobs and she works 6 days a week. She was able to find some time today after work to find a wedding dress. Not her wedding dress.
Nope.
That would have been an exciting announcement. So she came in and I said, why don't I have you on the podcast? Because we're still in our friends and family era. Friend and family.
Right.
So everyone welcome Jill, my mom.
Woo!
Woo!
Am I allowed to cheer?
You can cheer.
Oh, okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You can dance, but the video cannot see you.
Okay, I know the video is only watching
Mom,
you.
come closer a little bit.
Okay.
Perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah, but
All
feel
right.
free to move the microphone too.
Okay, I'm good. I don't want to move it at all. So, by the way, I would never give my social security number to anybody. I think I know that. And the places that I wanted to go to, one just opened. Am I allowed to say like?
You can say it. Yeah.
okay.
Hopefully they'll hear this and then I'll get paid to talk about them.
Okay. One just opened. I've always gotten their catalog and bought stuff from them. They're a store out of London and I love their clothing. It's called, I don't even know if it's Me and M.
Meme.
But I don't think they say that. I think they say Me and M. And then the other one is a store that I used to shop at in the Short Hills Mall in New Jersey.
Shout out.
And it's, I don't know how to pronounce it because I kill it every time, but it's Variazioni, and it closed in New Jersey. So I came into New York for those 2 stores for a dress for a wedding. Thank you very much.
And were you successful?
I was at Me and M. Yes.
Good. You can always count on a good meme. Being
they came through. Yes, exactly.
at SiriusXM right now, we saw one celebrity, Vanessa Williams, who
Yes.
I know from Ugly Betty.
Oh, she was in definitely stuff prior to that. And I think she was Miss America at one point in time. Am I not allowed to say that?
No, it's just funny because like if she was Miss America, here I am like I know her from Ugly Betty. Like that's so offensive. Like that's probably the bane of her existence.
Yeah, I think way back, she was Miss America.
I mean, she's gorgeous, but
Stunning.
Mom, who would be your dream celebrity to walk by right now?
Andy Cohen.
Really?
Yeah.
Mom, out of everyone?
Well, it's kind of hard to pick one person, Dana, but you mentioned I might see him, so it's on my mind. He's on my mind. Like dream celebrity?
And don't say Prince.
I wouldn't say Prince. He's dead. I'm not like, yes, I understand that he's not alive. I have no idea. Come back to me on that one.
I feel like you went through a big Kiefer Sutherland phase.
But I saw him at the Short Hills Mall.
Oh my God. It all comes back
Yes,
to the Short Hills Mall.
Pottery Barn. He was doing 24 at the time. I went up to him and said, "Oh my God, my sister and I love you. We love 24." I've seen Kiefer. I'm sure he remembers that interaction from Pottery Barn at the Short Hills Mall with me. Yeah, I don't know where Kiefer is right now.
He might be at Sirius XM, but
He might be.
we'll find out. Okay, that was just a fun like icebreaker.
Okay. Phew.
Like, don't worry, that
Okay.
wasn't the tough questions.
Okay.
So for those that don't know, my mom is a licensed clinical social worker, and she got her graduate degree from NYU.
Whoop whoop. Yep, I did.
And she went to Penn State before that for undergrad.
Correct.
So I've been getting therapy for free for my whole life.
Oh. I've never therapized my children. I think I was one of the healthiest therapists because I don't. Do you really think I therapized you?
I don't think you therapized me. Now that I'm in therapy, I'm like, oh, you did not therapize me.
Yeah.
But I think that your approach to communicating with me comes from a more emotionally developed brain, whereas like I think that you mother in a different way than others, perhaps because of your life, but also because like you want to like teach a lesson. I don't think that you do certain things to get a certain outcome, but I think that you are more hands off sometimes.
Yes.
Because like, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but because you see like the detriment of being so hands-on and controlling. Like, you were never the mom that was like, don't drink, don't smoke, don't have sex. Like, you were like, have sex,
go drink,
like,
go have sex, go do drugs.
Like, I mean, you sent me 100 condoms in college.
I didn't. A friend of mine did.
Okay,
Let's
well, you
stand corrected.
Well, you told a friend, but like I think that your openness to those things surrounding me made me not see it as such a big deal. So then I wasn't encouraged to like.
I don't think you ever rebelled. I don't think you ever really went through a phase other than not acknowledging me in town. But that really wasn't rebelling. That was just a thing. I did. I was more hands off and figure things out. I gave guidance, I think. But I didn't really tell you what to do. I really wanted those decisions to be made by you and your sister and really understand consequences of your decisions rather than my telling you what to decide and what to do. So I think that is what I did. I don't know that it was because I'm a therapist. I think I would have done that as being me, I think.
Yeah, like I'm curious how did you, like when you first become a mother, like how do you know how to mother?
Oh gosh, it's a lot of sink or swim. You try to figure things out as you go along. There's definitely no sense of whether you're being successful or not. A lot of it is just gut. Like what do I think feels healthy or not damaging to you all, and what promotes independence. I think that was really a lot of my MO. What I really wanted to promote was independence, but also a sense of security and safety and love and nurturance, but also that you had the ability to make decisions for yourself and be independently secure and stable with your decisions, like really supporting those decisions that you make. And I think I've always said to you, I may not always agree with your decisions. I may not condone them. I'm not going to condemn them, but I will have an opinion about them. So I think that makes
it does
sense of my parenting.
Yeah, because I would love to like mother the same way that you mother.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Because it is like promoting independence, and I feel like I don't know who I would be without my independence. Like I think sometimes I ask opinions from people on like reassurance, but not of like, if I do this or if I don't, that's dependent on this person.
Yeah, no. You might get opinions, and that's perfectly fine, but I still think you're going to have your sense of what you want to do and support it.
Yeah, like and this is putting you on the spot, but like, do you have an example of like when I was growing up or when Kayla was growing up, my sister, like when you were like, okay, I have to make a big decision, like as a mom, like there's probably so many little moments that happen that you don't even think about, but I have little moments where I'm like, oh, that.
Well, you might be better to answer that in terms of, okay, you really messed this one up, Mom, or I like how you handled that. It's hard to come up with that.
I have one.
Okay, go for it.
But I didn't plan to have one.
Okay.
Also, can you move the mic a little closer to you or talk louder or both at the same time?
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I can like see the volume levels and I'm screaming.
Oh, okay.
But be louder, like, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So when I was abroad, do you know what story I'm going to tell?
I think so.
When I was abroad, I got so drunk. I think I was drugged. And I had a flight to Budapest the next morning.
Where were you abroad? Because it sounds like you were abroad.
I was abroad.
Like Italy,
No,
right?
I know. I was in
Okay.
I was in Florence.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm convinced I got drugged because I have not been that drunk ever. And I haven't. And my flight was at 6 a.m. And I was like, what if I just went out until 3 a.m. and then slept for an hour and then flew at 6? Like, my math is never mathing, but in my head, it's like, it's clicking like calculus. So I had this trip planned with my friends. It was 6 of us, like home friends, mix, like really good friends going to Budapest. And I woke up and it was like 10 a.m. I was sweating. I threw up. I was so hungover. And then I called my mom because it was 6 a.m. America time. And I remember being like, why the fuck isn't she awake? Like, I need you. I was so mad. And then finally picked up and I was like, Mom, I missed my flight to rebook. It's like $900. I'm just not going to go. And you were like, money will come back. These memories won't.
That was a good line.
But also, I think I paid for it with my bat mitzvah money. Like, I was like, how is this getting paid for? And I was like, are we rich? Like, like I have like student loans I'm paying off in Budapest. And then I ended up going and I had so much fun and I don't regret that. But that to me is like a parenting decision where like other parents might be like, oh my God, like let me transfer money right now. Oh my God, what are you thinking? Why would you go? You're so irresponsible. Like, I didn't feel any shame from you, but I also didn't feel shame because I was open to confiding in you.
Correct.
Like, I didn't need to call you or look to you for guidance. I think I was just looking to you for like a hug.
Which I gave you over the miles of distance for sure. But I wanted you to go. I thought it was important that you went, and you went. So you might not have felt great. And yes, again, dealing with the consequences. Like, you made a stupid decision. Let's call it what it is. In terms of drinking and whatnot. And yeah, maybe you got drugged. I have no idea. But the reality is, I think it was, how often are you in Europe to be able to go to Budapest and see your friends? I mean, that's just like crazy. I didn't want you to miss that experience.
That's so true.
Yeah, 100%. So that's a good example.
And this story is making me think of another one, which is, I have a quick question. Have you ever been drugged in Europe?
Yes.
Do you want to tell the Spark Notes version? Because I think it would be interesting.
I'll do Sparks, definitely. So, yes, I traveled Europe after I graduated college from Penn State with a girlfriend of mine. We traveled all over the place. After England, London, that whole area, we went to Paris, France. And we ended up befriending, or people, probably they befriended us, a man and a woman at an outdoor cafe in Montmartre. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you got the gist. And we spent about a good 6 hours with them drinking and getting to know each other and just having a blast. And they said that they had a car and they would drive us back to it was a hotel, but it was really like a hostel kind of hotel. Because we were backpacking across Europe, and they drove us and they said, "Oh, we're having so much fun. Do you mind if, no, we would love to come party with you a little bit more." And my girlfriend and I were like, "Okay, sure." So they came into the room with us, and they had, well, we got high, and they also had chocolate. And unbeknownst to us, the chocolate was laced with something that truly knocked us out. And we think, when I came back and talked to someone who knows drugs, they thought it was something that they actually used to put dogs down called Kenalog. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I love chocolate. So I ate a lot more chocolate than my travel friend. And when we woke up the next day, they said they would take us to Versailles that following morning. So I woke up, I'm like, when are we meeting to go to Versailles? And we looked, and I had no money, and my girlfriend's camera was taken, our passports were taken. And long story short, we get to the American Embassy. I'm really sick. I'm hallucinating, and the embassy basically says, "Yeah, you've been hit by criminals that we know about, and good luck to you." And yes, the moral of the story is, don't take chocolate from strangers. Just so you know. But they did eventually find them. It was a Greek man. His name was Costa, at least that's what he told us. And his partner was a female from Finland, at least that's what they told us, named Rondi. And about 4 months after we got back from our travels, we got pictures, four mugshots of men and 4 mugshots of women, and they had captured them.
Damn.
Yeah. So
I can't believe you weren't the only ones that they had fun with.
No. And they had a range of ages and that they had hit. Like, we weren't the only really, I'll say, naive stooges. Is that the right word? I think so. Yeah.
Naive broads.
Naive broads. Exactly. It was pretty traumatic, but I'm here to tell you about it.
Did you go home after?
No. My mom, I actually called and she said, "Why don't you come home?" And I said, honestly, if I come home now, I don't think I'll ever come back to Europe. So I wanted to experience. We were going to Italy and Switzerland and Greece, and we had a whole bunch of places planned, and I didn't want to miss out on that. Just kind of like how I told you to go to Budapest. Like, you're there. How often are you there to do this kind of travel? So I stayed.
Did your friend stay?
Yep, we both stayed. Amsterdam, we did that. We were there for like 2.5 months. Yeah.
How did you have money?
I saved up for it.
But you just took it out from the bank?
Oh, you know what? Back in the day, they had these things called American Express traveler's checks. So when you traveled, you got these traveler's checks. And when you left the numbers of the traveler's checks that you bought at home. And I called home and they gave me the numbers of my traveler's checks, and they would reimburse you. American Express would reimburse you with the traveler's checks that were stolen. And then I had a new passport that was actually in French. It was a U.S. passport. I had to get a brand new passport. That was pretty cool, actually. But yeah, American Express traveler's checks, that was like, I don't even know if you can get them anymore.
How long did your passport take to generate? I feel like that would be days.
No, the American Embassy, I think it was literally whatever day we went, maybe 2 days later it was available, because it was a theft. They had to replace it. I had to have a passport to be in Europe. It was different. This was 1986.
True. I'm just thinking, what's the worst thing a burglar could steal? Probably my identity.
My womanhood. I mean, the cops were like, "Were you raped?" And we were like, "We have no idea."
That's crazy.
I know. because we were so out of it. Like,
That's so scary. Like, I can't even imagine calling you and telling you that happened.
yeah, that would not be good.
What did your mom say?
She was pretty, I think she was pretty shaken up, but she was very supportive. And as I said, she said, "Do you want to come home?" And I had thought about it, but I truly thought, like, I love traveling and I want to be in Europe, and I don't want that to ruin my journey.
Yeah, and I bet when you look back, you don't regret it.
Oh God, no. I'm glad I was not killed or raped, but
Me too, because then I wouldn't be here. Well, if you were
Exactly.
raped, I might still be here. But if you,
but this is true.
but if you were,
But it would not have been the same kind of, yeah, we weren't, as far as I know, we were not raped. Let's do it that way. But yeah, I mean, we could have been killed.
I
Like,
mean, yeah. Well, you said they were like nice criminals, right? Like
oh,
they
so
took
nice.
they took your friend's contacts out.
Yes, they took my friend's contacts out. They left us enough money to live on in Paris for a day.
They're like, you are granted 2 croissants.
Yes, and then they left me with one credit card, and we could have survived. We could have survived, but again, the embassy was amazing, and so was American Express. Plug for American Express. But again, I don't think you can get traveler's checks anymore. I just don't think they exist.
Yeah, that is crazy. It's also crazy how like all these events happen to us, and then we just become an adult.
Yeah, and it helped me grow up. That's for sure. Because I couldn't believe that people like would do that. And she was a psych major. I was a social work major. We were there to meet people and talk to them and get to know them and cultures. And I guess we had some identifier that said these people are saps, because we just loved getting to talk. Like, that was we spent at least 6 hours with them, literally. So go no. Yeah.
Are you allowed to tell a story about like a patient that's touched your life more than anyone else, or is that HIPAA?
I probably could without a name.
Can you?
Yeah, I can. So it's a gentleman. I'll call him Jim, and he came to me in a very, very bad state. I don't want to give too much identifying information, but he was really feeling somewhat homicidal toward coworkers, and really stressed and really angry. And he was able to eventually go out on retirement. He wasn't of retirement age, but he was able to coordinate something. And I worked with him over the years. He really became a calm human being, and he was very grateful for the relationship we had. And I think the ability for me to be calm with his really intense anger. He was extremely angry at family, at the world. He was a little paranoid about politics and what was going on. And I actually did a session at his home once. He had a heart event, and he was operated on, and he was really not doing well. And I said, "I'd happily come to your home, Jim, and do a session." And he was so cute. He set out little cookies and tea, and at some point he came to see me, and I said, "You know what? You don't look well. You don't look well. I don't know what's going on, but you don't look well." And I hadn't seen him for a while after that, and he reached out, and he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Mm.
And we saw each other a few times. I did a couple phone sessions because he couldn't get to me. And about a year ago, he passed away. And I only knew that because I reached out I hadn't seen him for about 2 months or heard from him, and I reached out and I left a message and I said, something's not right. He would normally call back. And I looked up in the obituaries, and there he was. And I worked with him for about 8 years, and I really, I have a special place. I just thought of him the other day he enjoyed Quick Check. I passed a Quick Check, and I thought of him, and he was a really sweet man. He had no children. He'd been divorced many years ago. But he used to say the only person he had in his life was me.
Wow.
And yeah, he really was. He holds a very special place. He was an artist and actually gave me something that he was a photographer, and he took a photo in Paris, which I have in one of my offices. And I see it fairly often, a couple times a week, and I think of him fairly often. So that is Jim. Thank you. That was really sweet.
You got me all teary.
Yeah. He became such a sweet, gentle man. He really, he responded to homework, and he just wanted to be a happier person and calmer. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for asking. It's just funny. I really did just think of him the other day. So,
how do you not, or maybe you do, like, how do you not get so, like, emotionally wrapped in all these people's lives? Like, how do you separate that from, like, I think you're an empath. I think that you feel for people. And so I would never be able to do your job because I feel like I would just be crying the whole time. Like, do you almost build up a wall?
No, I think I do. I know I do. I do tear up in sessions at times. I definitely do. I mean, there's a lot of sadness in people. In the moment of having a session or talking about a patient, or I'm with them then, but I know for my own well-being, it ends in a session. And I also think I really don't think I'm a therapist outside of work. And maybe you disagree, I don't know, but I think that's one of the things that I love about how I practice and what I do. I'm a mom, I'm a woman, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a friend. I'm not a therapist outside of my office. I really don't think I am.
I don't think you're a paid therapist outside of your office.
I don't know. I don't feel that. I really don't feel it.
But I think that you're a source of, like, stability for a lot of people, where if someone is having a moral crisis, like a friend is like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I feel like you.
But you would be the same for a friend.
I guess.
You would. And it's not that you're a therapist. You're just a friend. Not just a friend, but you're a friend. That's how I see myself. I'm not providing therapy for anybody that's not in an office with me. Honestly.
That's true.
I feel that. I do hope that is what is conveyed.
No, I don't think you. No. I don't think that you act like a therapist outside of the office. Mm-hmm. But I think, like, your knowledge and, like, compassion is that of a therapist. So then when you're, like, interacting with people, I feel like you're the type of person, if I didn't know you were a therapist and I was friends with you, I would be like, you should be a therapist.
All right. Again, I think that's empathy. I just think that's general empathy. And I think you have it. I think your sister has it to the nth degree. I think you both are very, very, like, your emotional intelligence is beyond. And I think that's something that's innate. I don't think I created that for you at all. At all.
Yeah.
I think that's part of your general sense of being.
I agree with that.
Yeah. 100%. No, you both are very much in tune with other people's feelings, but I don't know that it has. I don't think it has anything to do with me. It's your total being is just a very caring, loving, thoughtful, just beyond. Again, both of you early on, a sense of empathy that was like mind-boggling to me. Honestly, yeah.
Thanks, Moosh.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to think if we should go into. I kind of want to end on I digress.
Okay.
But I feel like I have so many more like questions for you and like things I want to talk about. Like we can get not that deep and
Not
then
that deep.
but then we can end on I digress.
Okay. So what else you got?
Okay, well I have one that I want to maybe have you on another time just to talk about grief. Because
Okay. Yeah, not now.
I know because I'm like but that's something that like you've been through a lot, so I feel like you have a lot of knowledge surrounding.
I think knowledge comes from experience more than anything. I do. So, I can read a book about it. I can go to a seminar about it. I can provide information about it. But yes, having experienced it is a whole nother level of insight. So, what else you got?
I wanted to ask you, what is one lesson that you always want me to carry with me?
I would go with something that Aunt B always said and did.
And Aunt B is?
My sister, Aunt Barbara, my sister Barbara, and your aunt. I think you and Kayla both called her Aunt B.
I'm just saying for the listeners, they don't know who Aunt B is.
She's my sister. Right? Okay. My sister who passed away in 2006 of breast cancer. And I think it really has to do with just smiling, answering the phone with a smile, what that does for you and what that does for someone else. I'll never forget when she became handicapped from her cancer. She used to be so moved when someone would hold a door for her because she was handicapped and walked with a cane, and it was challenging. And she herself would open a door for someone, even in her handicapped state. And I think it's just being aware of kindness and accepting kindness from someone, but also giving it to someone. And I also love the thought, and I really do try to live by this, is be happy with what you have, not unhappy with what you don't have. And it really is, I think, so critical in life. And I am so happy I have health right now. And that's my focus, is just being healthy. So, and being loved and loving people. So, are those good lessons?
That's a few lessons.
They're all good. Yeah.
Hold on, I need to.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would love a whole episode on like a deep, that's like such a work term, a deep dive.
Well, that would be deep, even though it's not that deep, but it would be deep.
A not that deep dive.
Right. Exactly.
All right. I do want to get into one of my favorite segments. It's my only segment.
Okay.
I digress.
Excellent.
I asked you to prepare your I digress. Would you like to share first? Would you like me to share first? What do you prefer?
I would love if you shared first.
Okay. I'll get the ball rolling here.
Okay, good.
So this is an example that happened today, but it does happen frequently. I'm at work and there's a public bathroom, a public women's bathroom. When you're sitting on the toilet, and there's somebody next to you rocking that toilet, farting, exploding lava next to you, what is the etiquette for you? Do you, A, wait for them to finish and them to wash their hands first? Because it's shameful. They don't want, they're not coming out of there like, did you see what I did?
Or hear what I did.
Or hear what I mean, it's obvious I heard, but then, so do you wait for them? I'm sorry, do you wait for them to leave, wash their hands, and then it's like you never see them again? Or do you try to hurry up really quick and get your business done so that then you can finish washing your hands and leave? I just think that this is a crisis among corporate. You want us to come back in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Give us a separate shit tank, because it is so vile to be having to hear other people. But also, we're all slinging coffee all day. It's not staying in us and coming out of clear urine. This is hard work going through the bones. And so to not have a separate bathroom, whether that's outlined as multi-gender, polyamorous, whatever this bathroom is going to be, I need a separate place because now I'm uncomfortable by somebody else's actions because I don't know what the best what's it called? Decorum.
Protocol.
What the best protocol is. So I digress, but this needs to change.
I'm with you. Can you lock the bathroom door, by the way? Like the big one, like the one that you enter to get into the...
Probably, but then, oh, why did Dana lock the door? Oh, she's shitting her brains out. I'm not... There's roughly 1 to 6 people in that bathroom at all times. And people decide to have their catch-ups from the weekend in the bathroom.
Oh,
imagine holding in a boulder and you hear these people being like, the kids had a great time at their grandparents'. You know, Alexa's eating hot dogs now. I don't give a fuck. My legs are trembling. So it's ridiculous because I want to work from, people say they want to work from home. Why? You want to do your laundry, you want to do your errands. No, I want to poop in peace.
Poop in private.
And I don't think people talk about that enough.
I will say that was one of the things I had to adjust to as a mom is not pooping in private and being able to kind of deal with, now I could care less who's watching me, but it was from you guys where I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be able to do this on my own here. Someone's going to be, Mom.
Yeah, but we're your kin. Like, I don't care that other people can hear me. I really don't. I'm uncomfortable because I know other people don't want me. It's just like,
yeah.
Like, what do you do? But so here's my question to you. Should I wait for them?
I would leave. I would leave before they come out.
But what if I'm not ready?
Well, then that's different. Then that's your answer. You're not ready. You're not gonna rush your events. But if you can, I would leave before they're done.
I was playing Connections today on the toilet. I'm not going to rush Connections.
I do that at work.
Right. I'm not going to rush Connections to make someone else comfortable.
Right.
I can't even get it.
Yeah.
I would love, I mean, we could go on, but why don't you hit your I digress?
Okay. So.
Oh God. Okay.
Here we go. So sometimes Dana, my daughter, will want to talk. And first of all, when she calls, God damn it, I better be available. Because if I'm not, I will hear the phone ringing like 6 different times. Eventually, I'll get a text, Mom, where are you? So I have learned if Dana calls, if I can hop to it, I am answering that phone call. So if I answer the phone call, more than likely, Dana is walking through the streets of Manhattan. And guess what? I can't hear her. And she expects me to be able to hear her with the wind tunnels, the sirens, people saying things. I don't even know what else you're doing, to be honest with you. And we'll talk for a little bit. And eventually, either she'll say, all right, I got to go. I got another phone call. Or, oh, I just ran into someone. I got to go, Mom. Sorry. Bye. Click. Or I'll say, Dana, I can't hear you. And she'll go, bye, Mom. And that's it. There's no other, like, she's so pissed at me. You are so pissed at me. But it's impossible to have a worthwhile conversation with you walking through the streets of New York. And I digress. Yay. But it's very true.
That's why I digress is a thing, because it's a true story. Here's what I have to say. I feel the exact same way when I'm on the phone. Let's say I'm in New Jersey or somewhere else and I call someone in the city. It must be so nice for them to be walking, getting their steps in,
Right.
in not being able to hear me through their little AirPods. I get it, Mom, but I'm also selfish. So I don't when I'm home, like, I don't want to be on the phone. That's me time. So when I want to call, I
see.
but like or I'll want to be doing like an errand or something. I don't know, but I agree it's annoying, but
Wait, can I just say something?
Yeah.
So if I want to hang up, what ends up happening is, oh, so like you have your me time, but I can't have my me time. Somehow that's messed up, Dana. There's an inequality there.
because you're the mom, like I'm going to deal with that when I'm a mom.
Okay, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
I'm mom, I so get it.
Okay.
Plus, then when I've started to, when I'm on the phone with like one of my grandmas, your mom, for example,
Yes.
I'll mute myself so that they can't hear the background noise. But then that confuses them even more because then they can't hear anything.
Right.
And then they're like, are you there? And I'm like, unmute, siren. Yes, I'm here. Oh, it's so loud.
Maybe don't call them your grandmothers when you're walking in the city. It's impossible to hear you.
I think it's just a funny bit that we do now, but you are so right. Like when I call you, like or when I text you and you don't respond within 10 minutes, I need you right now. Meanwhile, you're literally saving lives.
I'm saving lives.
Meanwhile, like when I'm at work doing my click clack advertising and like my mom will text me like, hey, like I need your social security. Like I'm held at gunpoint. I'll respond like, I'm busy.
Right. Yes, you will.
Have you no respect?
It's not a two-way street for you, but it is a two-way street. You're definitely like a one-sided. It is. You just want immediate gratification when you want it. And then anyone else that might want it, maybe later.
Right, like they can wait.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Mom, you can wait.
But Mom, like I've always been like that. Like I need immediate, like when I need a pair of shoes, simple as that, like I need them right now.
I know. Good luck working on that.
Wait, before we end, can you tell the toilet story?
Oh my God, I was just going to say it.
I figured.
Okay. So
Also, wait, I like to do this. How long do you think we've been talking for?
I'll say 40 minutes.
Okay, that's annoying.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
like
is it?
42 minutes. It's not fun when you guess it. You should have been like 20,
I do
27.
I do time in 45-minute increments. Those are my sessions. So I was like, I think we're ready to end soon. But you mean like the Miss Ellen story?
Yeah, I want to close on the Miss Ellen story.
So yes, both of my children.
Actually, I'd rather close on you. Like,
okay. What do you want to close on?
What's a story about yourself that speaks to your character?
Oh my God, Dana. Oh my God.
Like that's like the story that you're about to tell, which we can tell another time when my mom's on. Basically, is just
I'm your mom.
Right, when you're on next. But it's just my need for immediate gratification has been a thing since I was 2.
Right.
And we can tell the full story another time. But while we're sitting here, like I have a guest, I want to take advantage of that and not talk about myself. As badly
Well,
as I want to
that's
talk about
unusual.
myself. I know. I'm growing.
Yeah, you really are. A story that, what was the direction?
Or hey, like if a friend was like, what's a story that just like encapsulates Jill's character? What would they say? That's a fun one.
Oh, Dana, that's like crazy. Like, oh my God. I'm thinking of caring for my sister and caring for Matt, my boyfriend that passed away. I mean, just being there for Kayla and her illness.
My sister's sick. That's for another episode.
Yeah. Trying to do what I can for my loved ones and for my patients and clients. I know that's really vague, but having moving my mom up north from Florida to help her be feel more secure and safe with family around. And my mom is 90, Grammy's 90, and just having a sense of her being closer to us. I think you said something before about friends coming to me. I do believe that has always been part of my being. Not knowing it early on, but just trying to be available for other people and myself. I am big on self-care. I don't want to minimize that. But I do believe that really helping people we know, people we don't know. Just the other day in Summit, I was taking a walk during my work day, and there was a big box in the middle of the road, and every car kind of had a swerve around the box. And I kind of stopped traffic and kind of said, wait, I'll get the box. And I got the box and pulled it onto the sidewalk. And like people were beeping, and it was just like, yay, they had no idea who I was. But obviously there was a potential accident waiting to happen, and other people walked by and ignored the box. I saw the box and I moved it. That's a good story. Simple.
I saw the box and I moved it.
That sounds like a book.
I feel like that could be the title of this. If you break that down, that just speaks to your character of,
yeah,
I'm able to, I think that what you're able to fix, you fix, and you try to alleviate pain.
Others' pain. Yeah. Other people's pain.
That works. In and out of therapy. But
yeah. Just being here always for you as your mom. And that's really important to me. So, and thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. I really hope we see your favorite celebrity, Andy Cohen, since you're dying to meet him.
I would love that.
I am so grateful that you came on. You tracked into the city.
I did.
And as always, thank you to my amazing listeners for tuning in to Not That Deep. Sticking with me. I'm having a great time. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you want to see my mom as a therapist, get on the list. Bye, everybody.